I prefer to wait until
Folks, I
later in the
tried.
month. I prefer
I
to wait
tried.
later in the month. So the Markdown
Okay.
Market 10 sale starts on the 24th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. and that's up to 75% off selected items.
Markdown market starts on the 24th.
Markdown Market
Okay.
is on the 24th.
Mm-hmm.
On the 23rd, it's an in-store sale,
Mm-hmm.
and if you get 20% off, and if you're a Mega Reward loyalty member, you get an additional 5%.
Okay.
On the 22nd, so it's 3 days, on the 22nd, we've opened our e-commerce portal from 5 p.m. to 11:59 for you to shop early. So it's 3 days on that particular weekend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We also had last month we had Go Green.
Mm-hmm.
We focused on everything green, and we're also going to do our Green Business Expo, where we'll be that comes up in June. So I'm going to provide a bit more information for that as well, and we're going to have that for those persons who are going green. I mean, you know, we've done the single-use ban on single-use plastics, so we're taking the lead from that to bring the Green Business Expo to the public. So that happens in June. Again, that's just something that we're working on at the moment, so you could sensitize the public about going green, going greener. Now, this weekend, on May the 11th, which is Mother's Day, you can shop online and use the promo code MOM25 and get 25% off site-wide.
Okay.
When you shop online, you also get the Mega Reward points as well. So
Yeah.
for those persons, again, who still haven't had a chance to shop for mom, or who's still looking for something for mom, you couldn't go to this shop and sip, you couldn't go in person, you could shop online on Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
all day Sunday, everything online, 25% off using the promo code MOM25.
But when we shop online, we're not getting it, right, until the next day, right?
You're gonna get it the next day, again, because it's Sunday, and we're not open on Sunday yet.
That's why you gotta buy it before. Moms don't deserve late things.
We don't open on Sunday yet.
I know.
I said yet because that could be something, you know, we could look into to make sure that we have that opportunity for persons to get again,
Yeah, pick up.
right away
Yeah,
in
you
store
don't want to give mom her present late. Mother's Day is not Monday.
without the gift in hand.
Yeah.
You can't without the gift in hand.
Okay.
So across the group, though, we have a lot of other things going. For example, for the month of May, we are focusing on Go For Your Goals at TDC Financial Services, where we have a number of deposit options. We have the accumulator, we have fixed deposits. So we are encouraging persons to put something aside. So we're doing that for the month of May at TDC Financial Services. I don't know if you're in the hunt for a new vehicle. If you're not, but we have if you're not, this is your chance to know more about the Suzuki Baleno.
Baleno?
Yeah, Suzuki
Okay.
Baleno. It's our featured vehicle of the month.
Okay.
You can actually call TDC Automotive at 465-2511 or 469-5430 and book a test drive.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, book a test drive
I
for.
didn't know we do test drives around here.
Yeah, we do test drives.
Okay.
We do test drives. So if you're in the hunt
You
for a new
learn something
vehicle,
new every day.
yeah, every day. And again, of course, we're making sure that you test drive the vehicle before you actually buy it.
Listen.
We're giving you a chance to experience the vehicle. It's also, since we're on the vehicles, we've started our Toyota recall campaign, Toyota airbag recall campaign, and that's for affected vehicles. If you bought a Toyota 4Runner 2013 to 2016, Toyota Corolla 2003 to 2013, Toyota RAV4 2003 to 2013, or 2006 to 2012 Yaris or Belter models, Toyota, we're encouraging persons to get the airbag replaced absolutely free.
Yeah.
The airbags are defective and they can deflate. They could also damage the passenger and the driver. In some instances, if we have persons who've actually lost their lives, and we don't want to have that here.
Not at
So
all.
as part of the international campaign, we're doing our part to make sure that we keep our drivers safe on the road if they have these particular models. And for persons who might have missed the models or who are not sure, if you have that affected vehicle, simply call 465-2511 or 469-5430 and ask for the automotive division, and one of our technicians will be more than happy to guide you through the process. Of course, it is absolutely free. And in St. Kitts, we had a saying, if anything, free tech 2, but I think if it's anything, free tech 10 now. Right? So take advantage of the opportunity to have those things sorted out. Any questions?
No, I was just gonna say that the guy that was here from TDC Automotive, he did mention that even if you didn't buy the vehicle from TDC, you could bring it there and get the airbag replaced free of cost. So take the opportunity, folks. It's free, as Dominic said, take 10, but go and get your one airbag replaced if it's just one vehicle that you have.
If it's just one.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we've had some persons, it's very close to our heart because we've had some persons who across the region who, right here in the Caribbean, lost their lives.
Wow.
And we really want to make sure that that doesn't happen
No,
here in St.
not
Kitts
around
and
here.
Nevis. So outside of that, again, we've been working with the police. We've been working with Inland Revenue to sensitize the public, and I'd like to give a shout out to our partners, the police and Inland Revenue, for supporting the cause. If we didn't have them, we would not have had the type of support we've had. We had, I think in our last interview when the guys came in, we had about 10. The numbers are slowly going up, so we're very appreciative for the partnership for that. So we started with Mom, and I'm going to end with Mom. All right. So we're gonna go back to Shop TDC Group on the shopping portal. You could do your wish list for Mom there as well. So you could go on the website, you look at the items you want from Mom, create the wish list, and you could send it to Dominic, and Dominic could purchase the items from Mom. You could send it to your mom, not your mom. You could send it to your sister, you could send it to your auntie, you could send it to your uncle, you could send it to your dad. So you create the wish list online. Of course, these are things that she might have requested, or you might see a need for them. Oh, we have a caller. Let's take a call.
Okay, caller, go ahead.
Yes, good morning to you guys. How you guys doing?
Good, thanks.
Yeah, TGIF. Actually, I'm not up on the discussion this morning, really, but I wanted to just make a correction on the air.
You want to call back? We have a segment here with TDC, so he's gonna.
Sorry. Okay, sorry.
He's gonna wrap up in a bit, and then you can call back.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
I thought he
Thank you,
wanted
Colonel.
to buy something for my mom. I was so hopeful. I was so hopeful. Why am I getting something?
Oh boy.
Right. So we have the gift card. We're on the gift card. Now we cater to every type of mom. And maybe you didn't know, but I'm telling you now. I'm telling the listeners now. We've started putting building materials on shoptdcgroup.com. So if your mom is a DIYer, or a contractor, or a painter, or a plumber, we have on shoptdcgroup.com some of those products that you could purchase from us.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're actually catering
thought
to
of it
every
all.
we're catering to every type of person.
Yeah.
And because it's this weekend is the moms benefit from that particular thing. So if you wanted to do wish list for mom, go ahead to do wish list for mom and surprise her. If you want to buy the materials for mom, go ahead and buy the materials for mom. So making sure that mom has exactly everything she needs, not just for this weekend, but something for her all year round. So whether it's the wish list, whether it's the gift card, whether it's ship and shop, whether it's the building materials, mothers are special, right?
They are. They are. And I thought about that the other day. I said, imagine, no matter how small the gift, you make sure you give your mom something all the time.
Something special.
Yeah.
And of course, the best place to get something special is from TDC.
TDC.
TDC. That's the best place to get mom something special. So whether it's the gift card, whether it's the ship and shop tomorrow, whether it's the shop online, whether it's the wish list, we've thought of that.
Whether it's the Baleno.
Whether it's the Baleno, whether it's the markdown market sale at the end of the month, everything mom this month.
Yeah.
So we've thought of it. We thought of everything for mom. And of course, if I'd just like to remind the listeners, be sure to follow us on social media. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us on TikTok. Yeah, we're on TikTok. Follow us on TikTok because from time to time, we post things there that customers would really want to know about.
Okay.
Something new, something you might not have remembered, like the wish list and so forth.
Yes.
So follow us on social media. As a matter of fact, there's some opportunities there as well for persons to win prizes. We have quizzes sometimes, we have competitions sometimes. So it's a good opportunity to follow us on social media, whether it's TDC Home and Building Depot, whether it's TDC Group, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. Be sure to follow us there because we might not be on WinFM all the time, but you could stay up to date with us on social media. We also have a coming. Sorry
At
to
the
cut you.
Sip and Shop.
We have a WhatsApp channel.
What? Oh boy.
We just launched the WhatsApp channel.
You have everything.
Yeah, we have everything for everyone, and in particular from the month of May for moms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask if there anything Do you have a spin the wheel? Any extra prizes to win while the mom's shop in store while you?
We have some surprises.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we have some
That's all you'll
additional.
say.
Yeah, we
Okay.
have some additional surprises from up. I'm not at liberty to give away all on the air, but
No, I'm just asking.
I have to tease you to
Yeah.
make sure that when I come to work tomorrow and I see you in the store, I say, aha, thank you for shopping with us today. Here's an extra something, or did you know we have an extra something today? So we want to make sure that we give mom something special because she truly deserves it. Whether it's the grandmom, great grandmom, stepmom, adopted mom, foster mom,
Auntie moms, all kind of
daddy
moms.
mom. Yeah.
No,
No daddy mom.
no daddy mom.
There's some dads who double up as mom.
Yeah,
so.
but no,
No
we
daddy
have
moms.
Father's Day and they will get the
Okay.
big
See?
hurrah.
There you go. That's what I was looking for. I got what I wanted.
We'll
I
get
got
them,
what I
we'll
wanted.
get them a pickup by then.
Ah,
We'll get them
boy,
a
you're on the ball, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You got me there, and I appreciate that.
All right. Do we have anything more to add before we close out the segment?
That's it. And
That's it?
I look forward to coming back with some more good news from across the TDC group. And you'll be seeing me from time to time, if not me, some of our the team members who will be joining to tell the public exactly what TDC is doing and how they could benefit from some of these awesome incentives that we have coming up in the next couple of weeks, in the next couple of months, throughout the rest of the year. So stay tuned and remember to follow us on social media and keep up to date with what we're doing across the TDC group.
And you have to wish the moms Happy Mother's Day.
Well, I
Come
was
on.
coming to that. I wish you
Okay.
and Quintessential a happy Mother's Day, and the TDC family wishes you a happy Mother's Day. So we look forward to having you in stores or online to take advantage of these special offers that we've created just for mom.
Thanks for including us and wishing them Happy Mother's Day.
You're very welcome.
We're different. We're 98.9. 98.9. Win FM.
Building supplies, electrical supplies, furniture, appliances, carpets and tiles. It's the company where you can get it all. All at TDC, home and building depot. From lawn and garden, the TVs and stereos. All at TDC, home and building depot. Come on down, get what you're looking for. It's all at TDC, home and building depot.
Let's get real on winnfm. Hi, this is Lavi. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm. Get ready for an hour of real talk that will keep you engaged and informed, bringing you insights, the hottest topics of the moment, and perspectives that matter from the runway to the political arena. Real talk with Lavi covers all. Let's get real Wednesday nights at 8 on winnfm.
Been thinking about going back to school? Now's the time with DeVry University's Bridge to Brilliance initiative. Qualified Caribbean professionals can earn a U.S. degree 100% online with up to 50% tuition savings and flexible payment plans. DeVry offers over 50 programs built for busy adults, whether you're looking to change careers, earn a promotion, or finally finish what you started. Study business, healthcare, tech, or project management on your schedule around your life. There's up to 50% tuition savings. The application fee will be waived. It's fully online and flexible. There's stackable credentials and start dates every 8 weeks. Restrictions apply. Visit partner.devry.edu/Caribbean today to learn more. You've supported others. Now it's your time.
Hey, have you heard about the water shortage in our area? Yeah, it's pretty serious. I've been trying to conserve water as much as possible. Me too. I've started taking shorter showers and turning off the faucet when I brush my teeth. Look, that's great. Another way to save water is to fix any leaks in your house. Oh, I hadn't thought of that. How much water can a leak waste? A small leak can waste up to 20 gallons of water daily, which can really add up over time. Wow, that's a lot. And have to check for any leaks in my house. But another good tip is to only run your dishwasher and washing machine when they're full to save water and energy. I'll keep that in mind. It's important that we all do our part to conserve water, especially during...
To you by the St. Kitts Water Services Department. Learn more at water.gov.can.
Welcome to Island Tea with your faves. Keep it locked in with us for your daily dose of hot tea only on Win Media 98.9.
And we are back on Island Tea. And for those of you who were calling before, feel free to call now so that we can continue. So Mr. McMahon and Burl, feel free to call in at this point.
Hello?
Hello? Hello, yes. I want to say these things as quickly as possible. So Burl could call in. Number one, what does the lady on the beach, Jennifer Lee, what does COVID or any other infectious disease have to do with her situation as it is today? Because she goes, from what she says, she goes through all the hoops to be on the beach. As a matter of fact, she even said in the video that she was invited to some government workshop or something like that, and they turned her away from it. They invited her, she went, and as soon as she went, they turned her away from it. So what does COVID and infectious disease got to do with her present today situation?
Well, that is a good question. That is a good question.
We just training things to confuse the issue.
The issue that Sylvian brought up, I don't think it was to confuse the issue because I hadn't thought of it prior, but I think it was a good point. But you are also, your point is also relevant as to the present. So
right.
So you're both not wrong.
Yes, Sylvian would have a good point in another context, yes. But I'm talking of this specific situation with this specific individual today. COVID and infection ain't gonna, because she got through all the hoops to do her business, all the government hoops. Now, another thing, quickly, the labeling of stuff, okay? You got to remember, the small businesses, especially the woman selling on the street with her tray or whatever, whether it's prepackaged food, drinks, you name it, she now have to make sure a detailed labeling, including ingredients, manufacture date, produce date, expiry date, that sort of stuff. Detailed labeling. This is what this is calling for. And if the person in the street with the tray or whatever, cooler or whatever, ain't have them on, the things can be confiscated and so on. And Sylvian said that is okay. That can be okay. Because you're putting this poor person now in extra expense. How are they going to get the label? Either they got to go buy a machine, which is extra cost, to maintain it, so it's extra cost, or they got to go pay somebody for the labeling. Well, every day, or almost maybe every other day or something like that, you're producing new products. So every time you produce new products, the Bureau of Standards will come in and test them to put a new expiry date?
That again is another good point, because we're speaking about the right down to the grassroots person on the street. For me as a local, I don't have a problem. But your point in terms of if it is not labeled, the Bureau of Standards taking it off the street, I kind of disagree with that. When it comes to the person who is selling the little,
Yeah, but that mean right. But that mean every day now. That mean every time you make a new batch of product, whether a new batch of tambourine jam, new batch of drink, new batch of food, which will probably daily, and the expiry standard for yesterday ain't the same for today, for the day after, for next week. The expiry standards gonna change. That's all the stuff based upon when you produce them. So every time now you make new batch, whether it's daily, every other day, every week or whatever, you have to be kind of your standards for them to give you expiry date. And they're going to put people in, the poor man, the small man, and the street in extra expense. And even businesses, big businesses that label the product, the charge is in that, the charge is in the product. And that's one of the reasons why things are so expensive.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So when the poor person on the road now, they're going to have to calculate as well, factor in as well this new expense. And the price is going to have to raise. And when price raise, you're going to, especially the lady on the road who trying to feed the train and that sort of stuff, her turnover is going to cut down.
Yeah.
Even for big businesses that got proper labor, and so you put your stuff them expensive, your turnover cut down.
Yeah.
So Stephen love to say that me against the poor people. Me against the poor people. But actually, it is she who is going to put the poor person in a lot of problems. No. Lastly, I would like to say the ombudsman,
Greg,
to me, is a waste of government money.
Greg, okay, make your point. Remember Mr. McMahon.
Yeah, Mr. McMahon is there.
See, lastly, this ombudsman office, to me, is a waste of money because government chooses to their friends and who going to be friendly to the government to be the ombudsman. Look him, the fella tried, the family say he went to ombudsman and everything, he not get no result. So to me, this ombudsman thing is just another waste of government money because government ain't going to choose like you, Quint, who going to ruffle their feathers.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Mr. McMahon?
Oh boy, I think I inadvertently cut Mr. McMahon instead of Mr. McMahon. My apologies. Could you please call back? Yes, that ombudsman thing again is another thing that we need to visit in the future, because when you pick an ombudsman the last ombudsman I heard, he was a preacher and he talked a good game when we heard him. But since he has been elected, I haven't heard one thing, so that is what happens when you pick your friends. Hello? Hello?
But do you think he was a friend that was picked, or he was picked on the merit that he's a man of God?
That is what they're going to say.
Right?
That is what they're going to say. But those politicians, they pick someone who is aligned with them. Okay. That is what usually happens. Hello?
Hello?
Hi,
yes.
Go ahead. Caller.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem. But Greg has a point there with not just the ombudsman. It's throughout the various departments. The judgment in picking people, they may have good judgment, but they have bad criteria for picking people.
Yeah.
And we end up in problems like this. But back to the and by the way, with regards to labeling, right? Unfortunately, that's the price of progress.
Yeah.
Okay, you can't say something is a best practice and then, cut all kinds of corners.
Yeah.
Something could be done to
facilitate
this particular what's
small,
in this particular case.
Yeah.
Right. With regards to what we're talking about with the picking the candidates.
Yes.
Right. I was saying that it would transfer the bad practice that we have now in our electoral system, whereby campaign finance is not addressed, because all it means is that somebody from the constituency, let's say who have deep pockets and so on, may start dishing out money, and how our people react to that.
So they're going to vote for the money?
Exactly.
Oh boy.
Right? So that is not a solution. It's nice that somebody's thinking about alternatives to our present corrupt system. Okay? But I am not sure that in itself, that would be a good idea if it's accompanied by very strict policies regarding, campaigning.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah. What would be nice too is there's another very prominent commentator who came up with this suggestion that we go to something like a presidential system where we elect a president and the president appoints like a prime minister and cabinet of ministers, etc., from who he wants, right? Including, it doesn't even have to be, as a matter of fact.
That's like a republic system.
Yeah, right? It doesn't even have to be among representatives from the various constituencies, if you're going to still keep the constituencies. That I think would mean that usually, if again the president exercises good judgment, the best people are picked to run particular ministries, you know. And I think it would be a huge cost saving in money because you wouldn't have to have these long entourage of advisors and envoys and you know, the usual pork barrel stuff where persons who are for some reason either endeared to the leader or who he owes favors are put in offices which they are not qualified for, and as a result the country suffers because the country don't get the best persons to run its affairs. Okay, so that too would be a good change. You know, where you have pick a president and let the president pick whoever is going to be helping him run the country. But we know that's not going to happen.
But Mr. McMahon, isn't that kind of akin to electing the party electing a leader and then the leader picking out who he likes?
Not the party, the people. The presidential election.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is after the people have picked the president, just like the party picks the prime minister then picks who he wants, right? After the people have picked the president then picks who he wants. This is why I always say everything comes down to individual morality, because no matter what system or no matter what you put, if you elect a president who is not as integrous as we would like, you're going to run into the same problem.
Of course,
yeah,
of course, that's true. But if you pick a president, right? Remember, I would assume at the base instinct is to want to be successful. Okay, so I don't think a president is then going to go out and pick people who we know are incompetent or don't have his agenda at heart and that kind of thing. The problem with the current system is not that the people pick the prime minister, you know. Mm-hmm. It's the people who we elect in the constituencies. They're the ones who essentially pick the prime minister.
Yeah, I know that, but I was speaking about just the president alone. Because
right,
after
and I'm saying that the president has a freer hand to pick people who he knows is going to make him successful.
Yeah.
Okay, not necessarily because, as we well know, right? People don't always pick the right representative.
Yeah.
Okay, you know they may be experts in their own right, but when it comes to actual governing and administration of a government and so on, they may suck at it.
Mind you, there are merits to what you propose, because the fact that the people have picked the president, it then means that he's not aligned with the parties. So
exactly.
that could be a positive, you know. So
that's what I mean. He has a freer hand.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, though, and and by the way, it was not my, it was somebody's, like I said, a prominent commentator.
Yes,
who
yes.
made the suggestion. It was mine. But I think it's a good idea.
Okay.
But we're unlikely to move in that direction because just like what we talk about, the codes and so on in government,
Yeah.
the current system, the government and the opposition are
Morning,
pretty much
guys.
comfortable with the current system. And this going to take, you realize, no movement at all on constitutional reform, eh?
Yeah.
And this would definitely take constitutional reform. And so, although it's a good suggestion and it's good that people are thinking in those terms, I don't think our current politicians are visionary enough to go in that direction. They are more content in working the current
system.
corrupted
Yeah.
system
Yeah.
to stay in power.
Yeah. We have another caller.
Yeah.
Hello.
Morning, guys.
Morning.
Good day.
No, in a sense, right? I'm listening, right? But in a sense, when it comes to our system, you can still say that is the people pick the prime minister because when your people voted for that person, they know he was gonna be. If the party wins, they know that person is gonna be the prime minister. So the fact that you voted for him, you chose him.
Yeah, well, I can understand what you're saying because usually we have an idea about who might be the prime
Who
minister.
is going to be the prime minister if the party wins?
But it's not set in stone. It's not, but yeah.
It's not set in stone because, as we well know, all kinds of machinations and so on could happen in between elections.
Yeah.
And that prime minister could lose a vote.
That is true, but you still have an idea.
Yes, you're right.
Right? Okay, now to the issue with the lady on the beach. Now the lady stated that she got injured or whatever. She stopped work. She had to go and leave, but she wasn't doing massage. But they asked her, "Are you gonna still braid here? Are you gonna still sell your beads?" I guess she was doing whatever she was making. She was selling. Now this lady stated that she'd been over there for over 40-something years. That means she over there probably before tourism take over and want to implement all these kind of stuff like
rules
the
and
beach there.
regulations. Yeah.
Yes, like the beach belongs to them.
Yes.
Now is she good enough to go there and braid here and sell the stuff? Because she's practically self-employed because it's not like tourism giving her a check either at the end of the month.
Yeah.
So the fact that she's self-employed, I don't know how they could dictate that she can come and massage.
That is what puzzles
And she was
me.
doing, and she there for over 40-something years.
No, but there are standards, you see, and regulations. I found out. I didn't know this. I didn't know it was so. But you can't just go on the beach and say you're self-employed and do whatever you wish. Okay. Apparently, you have to have.
But look how long. But Mr. McMahon, look how long she's been doing it, though.
It doesn't matter. You can be doing something for 50 years and doing it wrong. Okay. Or you can be doing something for 50 years and you mess up one and cause a big whatever. Okay.
But in this case, she didn't mess up anybody, and from what she said, she thought she go by their guidelines. She go to their courses or whatever training they go through. So she abiding by their guidelines.
Yeah, I agree, and that is why this case is so interesting. Because if she is in fact abiding by the guidelines, then I mean, I honestly don't.
No.
That is what puzzles me.
Yeah, that's a puzzling thing.
Yeah.
I don't think any government official is going to just take up the regulations and apply it and not apply it in a fair way. So there's probably something more to this than we know of. Okay, because
what did you just say, Mr. McMahon? You don't think any government official will not take up standard and then do it in a fair way, Mr. McMahon? You think it's where you live?
That's a good question, Mr.
McMahon. Please do stop it. It's think it's for me, as the Jamaicans would say.
If you're a government official that is carrying out regulations, and you are going to apply it in an unfair way, Don't you think you're jeopardizing your job? Do
Yeah,
you
but
really
it,
think?
but it happens. But it
I'm
happens,
sorry to
Mr.
tell you, but nothing
McMahon.
think it's you're jeopardizing a thing.
Yeah.
Not in St. Kitts, you're not jeopardizing anything. Keep it real, Mr. McMahon. We love to talk about democracy, but keep it. Let's be real now.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know we have that. But what I'm saying, in this particular case, it can't be so blatant as to be discriminating against the woman. I just don't see that.
Again, Mr. McMahon, we know who we are dealing with. We know that we deal with some bad-minded people. In St. Kitts, if they don't like you, especially if you don't support their party, they find means and ways to get you out. So keep it real, Mr. McMahon.
I remember some years ago when a particular individual used to make a lot of waves over the airways because they took his sister up off the road for vending, and when you look, you saw people all over the place doing the very same vending. So
in the same spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Goodbye,
I know
guys.
these things happen. I know these things happen, but when they're pointed out, something is usually done about it. It's very real. It's very real that we go through with something as obvious as this, and in terms of discriminating or partisan political posturing and those kind of things, and something is not done about it. It's very real because it usually would have consequences later down, right? I know we tend not to deal with the consequences, and they don't happen right away, but when it's brought up, let's say in a campaign also or something like that, it has an effect. So,
well, to some
the wheels of justice here move slow. I would agree. I agree with that. It really moves slow. It has an effect. So,
well, to some
the wheels of justice here move slow. I would agree. I agree with that. It really moves slow, and a lot of unfairness goes on. Okay, but I think eventually it's dealt with. Unfortunately, not in a time. Yeah.
Okay.
then.
The time is 10:04. Let's see if we can fit in this final call. Hello.
Yes, Quint?
Yes.
Yes. I would like to say to Mr. McMahon, like the lady before said, get real. You always hear all of the parties bring out the whole long list of persecution and funway and all sorts of manner that was done to their people when the other party is in government. This is a constant cry in the Federation, nepotism, all these sorts of stuff. So this is not a real thing in St. Kitts based upon the complaints. This is not this. This is like a normal thing in St. Kitts, political nepotism and political oppression and that sort of stuff.
Greg, wrap it up, please. We're 5 minutes over time.
But above all that, what I would like to say that all that I mentioned in criticizing the government because they're doing, they all go against what the Bible teaches, and therefore they are all counterproductive and wrong. They enforce government labeling, the lady and the beach situation, and so on, by the government keeping her away. If what she's saying is true, which I believe, all of these things goes against the Bible, and therefore they're all wrong and counterproductive in the end because they go against the Bible. Thank you.
Okay. Could you close out?
On behalf of us here at Island Tea and the entire Win family, happy Mother's Day to the mothers when it comes on a Sunday. Have an enjoyable weekend to all. Be safe, follow the rules, and let's live in love and unity, please.
Found the sound 98.9 FM.
The importance of co-parenting. Every child has